Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming tonight. As I'm sure you all heard, my name is Zara Bradley, and I am a Year 13 student here at DESC. And tonight, I will be talking about the essence of our human creativity and what drives our innate innovation, because this is what I believe being human is all about. By the end of our time together, I hope to illuminate not only what creativity is, but the many forms it takes, how we can nurture it within ourselves, and why keeping the creative spark alive is so essential for humanity. But first, I'd like to ask you all some questions. Now, please raise your hand if you have ever gone to see a show, a movie, a concert, or witnessed art. Thank you. Now, how many of you have participated in any semblance of an art form, from the likes of icing a cake to building with Legos and more? You don't have to consider yourself a master artist or performer, but rather you have engaged in the simple act of being creative. Thank you. Hopefully, you all noticed how almost every single person's hand in the theatre was raised. This artistic innovation surrounds us all. Creativity is not just an art form or a talent, it's a cornerstone of human evolution. It has defined our problem-solving skills and creates connection. It's how we express ourselves, solve the world's biggest challenges, and envision new futures. So, when did human creativity actually begin? Archaeologists suggest that around 40,000 years ago, human creativity first sparked into life. Imagine that. And what's fascinating is that 10 to 15,000 years later, human creativity began to emerge independently across the world. That's just incredible. It's this very human creativity that has set us apart from our animal brethren, elevating us and defining us. We even have a term for it, the creative explosion of the Upper Paleolithic period. Quite the phrase, right? But that's how monumental this shift was, marking a moment where human imagination truly took flight. Because from the age of about 18 months, all humans from all cultures engage in a remarkable activity. We extensively play in pretend. We immerse ourselves in make-believe worlds with make-believe characters. Not even the great apes do this. It is so uniquely human. And by engaging in our imagination when we are younger, we become more creative adults. We can define this creativity in 4 key ways, with some people fitting into one category more definitively than the rest. We have deliberate and cognitive, deliberate and emotional, spontaneous and cognitive, spontaneous and emotional. So, let's start with our deliberate and cognitive. This is our Einsteins and our Edisons. They are the role models for this kind of creativity. Now, the key to unlocking this is by having a solid base of knowledge. This lets us take what we already know and mix it in new and unexpected ways. But here's the thing. This type of creativity doesn't happen overnight. It's why that these type of creative thinkers need plenty of time and space to dive deep, to research, and to learn. This is fostered early on in the school environment, but quickly plateaus as problem solving soon turns to rote learning. So, how can we solve this? We read. We take in as much information as humanly possible to expand our worldview and to make us open to new ideas. So, next we have our deliberate and emotional creativity. It's that wonderful eureka moment where the solution we've spent hours working on suddenly appears right before us. Like a writer who, after thinking and thinking on how they can end the scene to the final chapter, suddenly comes up with it. So, how do we get there? We have to stop suppressing our emotions and wholeheartedly embrace them. We have to let go of that very human fear and worry of being judged, which gives way to those powerful aha moments. And next, we have our spontaneous and cognitive creativity, which utilizes dopamine and operates outside of conscious awareness. Think of Isaac Newton, who famously glimpsed the concept of gravity while watching the apple fall. But to develop this, it takes time. So things like going on a walk, daydreaming, or letting your mind wander can be incredibly powerful. But how do we get there? We start by setting up the problem and then taking a step back. Because who knows? The solution might come to you while you're singing in the shower. And lastly, we come to our spontaneous and emotional creativity. This is the work of the artists whose work lights up our lives. This is the realm of our Monets, our Mozarts, our Eminems. These are the creatives who channel raw emotion into art, giving us paintings that inspire, music that moves us, performances that leave us breathless. This category is broad and beautiful and encompasses many different people, from the likes of artists and actors to musicians and dancers and many more. They are the performers who give life to our shared experiences. So, what makes this type of creative thinking so essential to our society? It's more than just skill. It's about connection. Through the arts, we capture the essence of the human voice, our joys, our struggles, our dreams, and we are reminded of our shared humanity. The arts have a unique way of fostering community, of reminding us that we're not alone. They bring people together across ages, cultures, different backgrounds, forming a universal language that speaks to everyone. And in a world that's so often focused on productivity and even hate, art reminds us to reflect, to feel, and to connect. It shows how that creativity isn't just a luxury, it's a vital force that shapes not only who we are, but how we relate to one another. So, for all the stress I'm placing on the importance of creativity and why it is so vital for our humanity, you may find yourself asking the question, why? Yes, you certainly, I hope, all now understand why it's important, but simply put, creativity is dying. In today's world, with rapid technological advancement, our natural creative abilities are being subdued. With a few taps, we can generate art, complete tasks, or solve problems that once required skill, patience, and a touch of human ingenuity. But here's the cost. As we become more dependent on technology, our ability to innovate is suffering. Why spend time learning how to draw when AI art can create a random image in a few seconds? Why spend time learning how to develop our problem-solving skills when the answer is just a tap away? This is perhaps the most concerning when, and I'm sure we've all heard of it, the iPad kid. Now, yes, it's a bit funny, and yes, it's familiar, but it reflects a deeper issue. Children are no longer being active creators. They are instead being passive consumers. Studies show that excessive screen time and constant digital stimulation dampen the imagination, and activities that foster creativity are being ignored, like reading, writing, and play. And instead of exploring our own ideas and experimenting with our own creations, we're turning to ready-made templates and scrolling through endless feeds. And the result? Original thinking is being stifled. But we have a choice. We can shape how technology serves us, making it a tool that enhances us and challenges us, rather than replace our creativity. Imagine a world where technology inspires us to go further, and rather than doing the work for us. We could use it to explore, learn, and create, rather than just simply to consume. So, to keep alive the tradition that not only connects us all as people, but as something that has connected us for over a millennium, I urge you all to pick up the pen, the brush, the instrument, And for our own sake, set aside the mindless doom scrolling and embrace the creative process that connects us all. Because it's not just a skill, it's a legacy that we are all a part of. So let's not just appreciate creativity. Let's champion it as a part of society's heartbeat. Thank you all for listening.